Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel here. Now in today's video, guys, I'm going to be bringing you a breakdown of RPOs and how to use them to win more games in Madden 21. This is going to be going over a lot of the RPOs current in the game right now, like stretch, alert, bubble. You also got the bubble RPOs. I'm basically going to be going over all of them and showing you how you can win more games with them and how to use them more effectively in the game. Now, quickly before we get into the video, guys, if you want to follow my Twitter, link is down below. Also, if you want to check out my two most recent videos, they're going to be in the top right of your screen right now. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so let's quickly start into what an RPO is. So an RPO is also known as a run pass option. It's been in football for years. And in Madden, they just added it, and I believe Madden 20 was the first year. And you have a couple of different types of RPOs. We're going to go into play type. I'm currently using the West Coast Playbook. And we're going to go into the RPO section right here. If you go into play type, you can go RPOs. As you can see, there's two types in the West Coast Playbook, Peek and Alert. So as you can see in Peek, what you can do is it has a couple of different routes. Now, there is one out of gun tight slots halfback week where there are two basically flat routes, a slant route, and then you can also run the ball. Now, how you're going to run the ball out of this is you're going to hold down the X button, and then also you have a second type, which is RPO alert. So in this one, there's only one route you can go to, and you can either do a stretch or a run. And in this specific thing, you don't have to press any specific buttons or any extra buttons. It will just run the ball automatically unless you throw the ball to that receiver. So we have a couple of types here. We have a stretch alert smoke, which is a smoke screen, a stretch alert bubble, which is a bubble screen, and you also can go either inside or outside runs. And then there's also a really good one, which is stretch alert Lookie, which is going to be a slant route coming from the left side, as you can see. Now, there's a couple ones here. You know, you have some out of strong pro, I-form wing, strong slot. Like, those are going to be the most common ones you're going to find them in, as well as single back. Now, when I'm running my offense, I like to kind of throw these in because number one, the runs are actually pretty good out of this. You actually get pretty good blocking out of the stretch. And number two, it can add another dimension to your game in terms of throwing and passing basically at the same time and kind of confusing your opponents. So we're going to go over firstly here. We're going to go out of the single back right here. I'm just going to go to alert. Well, actually, let's start with the peak here. So I'm going to show you what a peak RPO is, and yeah, let's hop into it. Okay, guys, so we're coming out right now in a big nickel over G cover 2. Now, you're going to see the play art here is a little bit weird. So first of all here, triangle is going to be your running back route. So basically, if you want to run the ball, I believe you're going to have to hold triangle, if I'm correct. Let me just try it out here. And as you can see, you got to hold, I think, X right here. I threw a pick. That was my bad. But basically, to run the ball out of a peak RPO, you have to hold down the X button. So this is an inside run. And then also the X and the R1 players, they are going to be blocking on this play. And then you also have kind of a screenplay here with O, and then you have a slant route here on square with Deontay Johnson. So basically you have three options on this play that you can go to. You can either go to the slant, the screen, or you can run the ball. So I'm just going to show you when we run the ball here. I just held X, and we were able to get a couple yards out of that. It's very, very simple. Now, it is kind of slow, but next you can also throw to the screen. So I'm just going to throw to the screen right here. And as you can see, we got pretty decent blocking, and we were able to get a nice few yards on that play. Nice chunk there. And then finally, we do have the slant route. So here we go. We're just going to throw to the slant. As you can see, it's a really easy play right there. I believe we got about 7-8 yards on that play, which is very, very good. And honestly, this play is very, very constant. It's not really too complicated. You know, you have three options to go with on the field. Sometimes you will have four. Like, for example, in gun tight slots halfback week, you will have the option to either throw to the slant, the two flat routes, or run the ball. And I believe there's also another one too, a hitch route, if I'm correct. So basically, you have a lot of options here if you want to go to an RPO zone peak. So once again, if you want to run the ball out of a peak RPO, you're going to have to hold X right here. So as you can see, I held X and handed off the ball. We got a solid amount of yards, 3-4 yards. Then you can also throw to the screen. Now, sometimes it'll be like a slant route or something like that. So we're going to throw the screen here. We're just going to hold out. As you can see, through the screen, we got a nice block, and we got a very solid amount of yards. And then finally, you have the slant route. So we're just going to run this here. and we're just going to low ball it. As you can see, 7 yards right there. It's super simple. So now, guys, let's move into the RPO alerts. Okay, guys, so the first one we're going to go over here is going to be an RPO smoke, which is basically a smoke screen. As you can see, this route right here, square, he is on a smoke screen, and you're just going to throw the ball. Now, there is no blocking, which is kind of the tough thing about smoke screens, but you also do have the option to run the ball as well to the left side on a stretch. Sometimes there'll be an inside run, and you also have 2 blockers to that side with the tight end and also the wide receiver to the right. Now, on this play, you do not have to hold X. You do not have to hold X like you do in an RPO peek. You can just go and you can run the ball like this. As you can see, just run the ball, and we're actually able to cut it back inside, get a very solid amount of yards here. You don't have to press any extra buttons because it's automatically going to default to running the ball out of this stretch play. Now, if you want to throw to the smoke screen, what you'll have to do is when they hand the ball off, or fake handing the ball off, you're just going to press the receiver icon and it will do a bullet pass to them. Now, the smoke screen's not really the best thing unless you're facing maybe like a cover 6 or a cover 9 where it's just one-sided coverage. The reason why is because, as you can see, when I throw this ball, they're going to react to it, and because there's no blocks on this play, we were only able to get 1 or 2 yards. So that's not really the best way to use the RPO alerts. You know, the best way to use it is to obviously do the bubble screen or the slant version of it. So now, guys, we're just going to go over the bubble screen version. Okay, guys, so here we go. So now this is the bubble screen version. As you can see, instead of a smoke screen route right here, it would originally be on this square route. Now you have this O route. He is on the bubble screen, which is a really good route to run. And also, you do have a stretch on this play. Sometimes it'll be an inside run. I'll actually go over a smoke screen on the inside run, as well as a bubble screen and a slant, I believe they have as well. I'll go over all those in this video. But essentially on this play, it's the same as a smoke screen. You can either go and just run the ball without touching anything, or you could throw to the O receiver. I'm currently in man coverage here, so I'm just going to throw this ball. As you can see, corner doesn't really react. The reason why he does not react is because basically he's going to be geared towards stopping the run, and because he's doing that, he's going to kind of hold in place. Now I'm just going to show you the man coverage assignments here. As you can see, this player right here, Franklin, he is on the O player, but because it's originally a running play, he's going to kind of stop and wait to see what the opponent's going to do rather than sticking to his assignment. So I'm just going to show it again. As you can see, doesn't stick to his assignment. We throw the ball, and we get a very solid amount of yards here because he is not playing man coverage. So he's waiting to see either if we run the ball or pass the ball. Now, we're just going to run the ball here. We don't touch anything. As you can see, we actually get like 1 or 2 yards there. I probably should have cut it to the outside. We had more room. But we're just going to spy here on Franklin. I'm just going to show you what he does after we run the ball. So you can see, after we run the ball, he goes and he tries to get over there. And because the pass is not working, because there's no pass play, he's trying to go and he's trying to commit to that run. So because of that, he leaves his assignment. So that's how basically the bubble screens work and also the smoke screens work. Basically, it's a 50-50. That's how they treat it as. So we're just going to run one more bubble screen here. This is against man coverage. I'm just going to show you how it works. So as you can see, just going to throw this ball, and then when it's too late, he is eventually going to react and go after his assignment. So that's pretty much it. So now, guys, we're going to go over the inside runs out of smoke screen. Okay, guys, so here we go. So now we are in a different play here. So as you can see, instead of it being an outside run with the smoke screen to the left, now it's an inside run with the smoke screen to the right. It's more like a power O, I guess you would say. But essentially, you have the smoke screen right here. I'm playing in cover 4 palms. Then you also have the running play right here. The player that's going to be running to the left side. You do have 2 blockers on his side. So it's set up just as the smoke screen stretch is set up. And this is basically just the same play. You don't have to hold X to run the ball or anything because it automatically is going to default to running the ball. So I'm just going to show you here at a cover 4 palms. And as you can see, we're just going to run this ball with James Conner, hit the outside, and get about 10 yards on the play. It's honestly really simple. Now I'm going to show you what happens when we throw to the smoke screen. So as you can see, when we throw to the smoke screen here, the corner, we actually had a nasty juke right there. I don't even know how I did that, but essentially the corner is very slow to react. He kind of creeps up to the player, and because of that, you can go and pull like a spin move or a juke move like I just did to evade them. Now, also, there are going to be inside runs against bubble screens that work just the same. So, guys, now I'm going to go over that. Okay, guys, so now we're going to be running it here against this SS Blitz 1, which basically has no safeties and deep zones, nothing like that. It's just a straight man blitz. So as you can see here, it's just the same thing. You have a bubble screen and an inside run, so we're just going to do the bubble screen. As you can see, that player actually reacts quickly to it, but the blocks did not hold up. Sometimes that can happen where the blocks don't hold up and your opponent gets to you really quickly for only like a 5-yard gain, but other times the blocks could hold up really well and you can get like 20-30 yards. It's that kind of thing. It's very 50-50. Now I do have to preface this, you cannot flip the run if you're in an RPO alert. Like if I try to flip the run here, I'm currently flicking the right stick to the right. As you can see, the inside run does not go to the right. Instead, it stays to the left. So now we're just going to run this ball real quick. And as you can see, we are able to get like close to 10 yards on that play, which is really, really efficient. So now, guys, we're going to go over the last type of RPO alerts, the RPO alert stretch. Okay, guys, so now we're playing as a cover 3 match here. And we are running an RPO alert stretch. Now, this is going to be a stretch play with a slant on the left side. Now, I am running this out of I form, so because of that, you are going to have a fullback in this play. But essentially, as you can see, you do have this square out. He's on a slant, and then also you have the 2 players right here. You have the stretch to the right. Now, obviously, you cannot flip the run where it goes to the left. What's really good about this play, though, this is actually heralded as one of the best running plays because the blocking holds up really well, and also the slant route is a very easy play or a very easy route to dot opponents up on. So as you can see here, if I run this slant, now you have to wait. You basically have to kind of read that player if you're in big nickel over G, because what I did wrong was I did not read him, and as a result, I threw an interception. But if you read him right and you're able to go and throw that ball, you can get a very easy 10 yards. Now, I'm just going to show you here when I run this ball. As you can see, the blocking holds up really, really well. They actually made a pretty clear path for me, and I'm able to get a couple yards after contact, which is really huge on that play. And honestly, guys, like that's pretty much it here. This is honestly heralded as one of the best, if not the best RPO because of its ability to hold up the blocks. So I'm just going to show it again real quick. As you can see, the blocking was okay on that play. It wasn't really great. Sometimes, though, it could be really, really good. And you get actually some pretty good yardage out of this play. So, guys, hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, smash a like. Try to smash 5 likes. Let me know if you have any questions or feedback down in the comments. I really appreciate it. And, guys, take care. Most importantly, stay classy.